and she tells us that we are live, so to speak. Hey, Tony Baloney, look, thanks for reminding me because now everybody knows us by our other given names.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Everything okay over there?
Yeah, I did. Hello, Mr. Ronald Weasley.
Hello, Mr. Tony Baloney. Look at me sporting my awesome jacket.
Yeah, yeah, awesome.
I love
You
this
still
jacket.
wear something? Because ooh,
Martine has to know that I wear this jacket frequently. In fact, I even wear it when it's 80 degrees outside because it's so darn
yeah,
comfortable.
yeah, yeah, completely fine. That's great. That's cool. Okay. Well, how
So
you been doing, mate?
I've been doing great. I've been doing great. How have you been?
Yeah, pretty nice. I've been of course it was Easter last weekend,
Yeah.
and Sunday I was off of my usual boring yet still okay job at Center Parks. And
Boring
so
yet still
yeah,
entertainment related.
exactly. That's a lot of people can't say that. So yeah, but Sunday I was off and I was having a party with my crew, my gang, so to speak, with uh everybody, like all my friends, almost all my friends, and so it was great. And we did some fun stuff. We started off today with a brunch that was prepared by Brigitte, you know her, of course.
Hmm.
And so that was awesome. Wow, that was amazing. I thought for a moment that I walked into a fancy hotel breakfast room or something. It was really awesome. It was smoked salmon. There was
Oh,
carpaccio.
lekker.
Oh my God, there was sausage rolls. There was
Mm,
man, I can go on and on and on. There was like this 4 feet table with lots of stuff, and it was awesome. It's crazy.
yeah.
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 So yeah, we started off today with that, and then afterwards we went to something like what was it again? Like fluorescent 3D miniature golf something. Oh,
Oh,
which by the
yeah,
way, that's
yeah.
funny.
Like where the lights are off. And yep.
Yeah, no, that's all neon. It's
Yeah.
crazy. You put on these glasses, you go like, "Whoa, what the fuck is going on?"
Yep.
Also, we still have to address that one as well. Remember that because, as you notice, in the Netherlands, miniature golf is called.
Oh,
You remember?
I
That's
forgot.
funny.
What is it?
Midget,
Yes.
midget golf. Yeah. So we did
Yes.
that in a kind of a 3D fluorescent style. That was crazy. And was fun for once. I don't have to do it again. And then after
Yeah.
that, we went to the race square. It's this big thing now in the Netherlands. It's set up by an old race driver, Tom Coronel. He was very big in Japan a long time ago, and now he's doing touring car championships. But anyway, he has this Formula One simulator thing.
Hmm.
You can sit in a simulator. It's a simulator. It's actually like you're in a Formula One car.
Right.
Actually, so that was great. So we did that. After that, went home and had some snacks, and we finished off the night with games, like board games. It was fun.
Love that. And yeah, you know what? You jogged my memory. We're gonna have to talk about um not just things like that. I remember, I remember we went to a recreation facility and one of the things you could do was basically get on a trailer towed behind a quad while you're trying to spear rings that were hanging. It was like a medieval kind of jousting, but with vehicles and all of these things. It's almost like when we went to where was the water park that we went to? That's not Aimhof. What was it? Do you
Was I
remember?
there as well?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
went.
Was that is
Really?
that the one where it's got the
Oh my
conch
God.
the gunite moguls and yeah, you come down a slide and you bang into them and you get all bruised up. And at the end of the day, I think you had asked me, do you guys have anything like this in America? And I said we couldn't. It would only be open one day and then everybody would sue because they were getting bruised and
Yeah,
battered and beat
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That I remember, that specific line. I,
Yep.
I, I remember you saying that to me, but for the rest, I completely forgot all about it. I don't,
Yeah, oh
I
gosh. I
have
never
no clue.
laughed.
I
I
don't
never
know.
laughed so much in my life. I mean, well, I probably have, but that was a
Yeah,
really fun day. Hey,
yeah,
I wanted to, and for everybody listening and watching, we talked briefly about this. Tone was talking about the party you had, and I wanted to touch on that, the idea culturally of the difference between what a party looks like in the Netherlands, what it looks like here in the States. Maybe even we could talk a bit about lowlands when you talk about a gathering of 65,000 people, a temporary city of 65,000 people that just pops up for four
yeah,
days. And the thing that amazed me was how well mannered and cordial everyone was.
yeah.
And
Well,
I was
of
stunned.
course,
I think,
almost everyone.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you have
There's
maybe you
always a
have a
little, yeah,
you
of
have a small handful, maybe.
course. Yeah,
Yeah,
of
but
course.
it's unfortunately what seems to happen in the States is at any of these big events, you tend to have big problems.
Yeah,
People
big problem.
people
Yeah.
misbehave, they
Yep.
ransack, they loot,
Yep.
violence. Somehow they
I
sneak
know.
weapons in, and none of that makes any sense. Why do you think? Let's talk about lowlands. Let's talk about what is it that brings people in from all over the world for
Yeah.
4 days? And I mean, things start off immediately. You go to the rave tent before the event
Yeah.
is officially open with acts
Yeah.
performing in all the tents and open air venues, and you can dance all
Yeah.
night. But
And the 24-hour cafe, you remember that
oh
one?
yes, I do.
Yes. Well, I think I've been thinking about that because you said that before, and I guess it's already like the Netherlands really has a reputation of being laid back and relaxed, kind of vibe going on here in the Netherlands, because of kind of a country's ways. Like it's kind of perceives that we are relaxed. So foreigners come here and they go like, we're going to Holland. And we're going, it's going to be great. It's going to be relaxed and fun, and we'll do some. You know what? Not necessarily everybody does that. Not at all. Not at all, basically. Uh, but anyway, so the mindset of people coming over and our mindset as well is very relaxed. So we go there to have fun. It's not like in the back of our minds, hope there we're not going to run into any trouble or something like that, because it's not like that at all. You don't think about that. And then, of course, and for us having a good time at a big party, it's not a big deal because we invented the whole party scene. We invented the big festivals. It's all Dutch originated. So we are the motherlode of big festivals.
You know,
So
that's
um,
that's that's a
that's
great
that.
point.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm totally convinced that's the case because that it's like it's okay, yeah, to be with a big crowd. Also, now another big example on the side is because of the recent re-emerged popularity of the whole Formula One racing scene. We now have our own Grand Prix in the Netherlands in Formula One,
You
and then
you
and
you don't
then
I never told you this, and I'm going to tell you and everyone else now. The fact that, I just happened to be there at the time when there was the race that happened in Vegas. Um,
right,
I, you know, I I've watched Formula One because it's racing and I think it's cool, but I didn't learn to appreciate it until I sat with you and Yvonne and watched what was happening and understand understanding the technology behind it. And in fact, I started watching, there's a British motorcyclist named Guy Martin, and he
Yeah,
will take on these various different challenges because he likes to push himself. And one that he did was he became part of an F1 pit crew, which is crazy when you think about it because they do everything you
really.
could possibly imagine in less than 2 seconds. And then the second
Yeah,
one
yeah.
was he trained to be an F1 driver, and he did 7 laps, and basically the F1 vehicle that set the standard for them all. And I really appreciated the
Cool.
fact, especially, when they talk about ground effect and why every single part of that vehicle is built the way it is. It's designed to
Yeah,
keep it hugging the ground. Otherwise, at the speeds it
right,
does, it's going to fly off. And the last thing you want is for a car to go airborne. But
right.
I never would have developed the appreciation for it if it had not been for you and your ability to
Mm,
educate without trying to educate. I think is just
yeah, it's just, yeah. Yeah, yeah, just talking about it and explaining what you see and stuff like that. It's a really fascinating sport because it's also on the physical side, like a Formula One driver, but also an IndyCar driver. The stamina and the physical achievement is mind-boggling because their necks are like this. Yes, you have to withstand G forces like
yeah.
unbelievable.
Well, and
So
your core
yeah,
strength, your upper body and your legs, because that's all you're doing. You're using your entire body.
yeah. Well, your body is kind of snugged into a special racing seat of
Yeah, yeah, but you're,
your body.
doing
So
doing the car stunt show that I did, Lights Motors Action. You
right,
quickly learned what parts of your
yeah,
body needed to be tuned up to match the demands and
right,
requirements for the show. And as a
exactly,
result, you
exactly.
you were in the gym pretty much
Yeah,
every day, not killing it to get, big like Schwarzenegger, but you
yeah,
had to make sure you had core strength because you're doing
right,
these amazing things, and you have to have that kind of strength to be
yeah,
able to manage everything while your body and the vehicle is under
yeah,
stress and load.
yeah, right. True. Yeah. Um, oh, and also what I was getting at before we got sidetracked on the whole
Yes,
Formula One
yes, please.
that
Thank you.
yeah, no, never mind. Anyway, so like in Lowlands, you have over the weekend you have 70,000 people, but in Zandvoort, you're all over the weekends at the Formula One race. Oh my God, I forgot, but it it's over like 150, 200,000 people coming over the whole weekend as well. So, and of course, you have little things going on and little fights like you have in bars and stuff like this. It's always, you always have the assholes everywhere, also in the Netherlands. So, of course, that happens, but generally, it's quiet, it's peaceful, people having fun. Of course,
So,
everybody's shouting and having a
but why do
drink, and blah,
you
blah, blah, but it's relaxed.
here's the question that I can't solve for myself, and that is, why is it in the Netherlands, people at these events, not generally speaking, but for the greater part, are better behaved? It was the thing, I jokingly said when I lived there and realized how kind and generous and selfless Dutch people are. I jokingly
Yeah.
said, I've made it my mission to find a mean Dutch person. And I know they exist. I know they
Oh
exist,
yeah.
but I didn't encounter very
Absolutely.
many of them. And
Yeah.
I noticed in Lowlands, maybe you'll remember the one time we were there, I'm wearing a kilt, and a Dutch guy walks up to me, and he lifts up my kilt, and he sees I'm wearing what I should be, which is nothing. I'm regimental, so there's nothing
Nothing
under my
around. Yeah.
kilt. And he smiles and he goes, "Loke," and he hands me his beer, and off he goes. And I looked at you and I said, "What the hell just happened?" And you just shrugged your shoulders, and Leon is with us. And I looked at him and he did the same. I had no idea what happened. All I knew was because I wasn't wearing underwear under my kilt, I got a free beer.
Yeah, you try that in the States, you'll fucking smack you. They will hit you right in the face. Yeah, I
But
know.
that
Yeah,
but
because we don't feel.
that says a great deal about culture.
Yeah, I know, but you must understand, of course, it's also the kind of people that are at the Lowlands Festival. They're more relaxed. It's also the kind of people that hang out there, which is the majority of the Dutch people, I'm sure. And so nobody's offended, like nobody's thinking that you're gay or anything. That's still a big thing in the States. You know? Oh, you're gay. Well, who
Yeah,
cares? Yeah, here
we're
in the Netherlands, it's also, yeah,
I
let me clear
think I
about that.
think anybody watching
It's
or listening will agree that unfortunately in the States we seem to be in retrograde. We seem to be going back instead of going forward with things that got
yeah,
sorted out decades ago in other countries.
yeah. Well, that virus is coming our way as well, I can tell you. It's
Yeah,
terrible. But okay, let's not get
no,
political on that one, I think,
no, it's too
because that's a
easy.
whole different issue. We could talk, we could make a podcast for 4 hours about stuff
Ugh,
like that, but that's not
I'd
our goal.
rather not. It'd give me a
No.
stomach ache.
Oh my God. No, don't get me started. So anyway, yeah, so uh it's possible for us, and it's also a little bit political, but in America, everything is with all due respect, it's all regulated and there are a lot of things that are frowned upon in the States. That is not so in the Netherlands. Like there's a lot of political correctness going on in the States, like you can't use the whatever word on TV. Famous words
George Carlin.
of George Carlin,
Yep.
who created the whole politic correctness phenomenon on TV and in society, stuff like that. We don't have that. Because we had our sexual revolution in the Netherlands in the late 60s.
Yeah, yeah, the
No, but nobody
1560s.
cares. Nobody cares. So why should you be
You see,
upset about
you've moved
something
on
somebody
because
says?
you moved on from that and learned and grew from it because remember Woodstock happened in America in the 60s. And
It
then
does, yeah,
Vietnam and then we went right back to the mess that unfortunately we're in today.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
we're skirting too close to politics, and I don't. But I do want to. I want to steer towards something because you said
Yeah,
maybe it's the Dutch. Something that I found really fascinating in the Netherlands. There seems to be more castles and historic buildings within 50 kilometers of where we lived in Elburg, and it seems to be the entire
yeah,
case throughout the entire country. And you can just walk up to these buildings and see them the same as you can walk into museums. You walk into museums and there's the art, there's a Vermeer, right?
yeah,
Just you can reach out and touch it. And in the States,
yeah,
it would be behind bulletproof glass with alarm
yeah.
sensors because and
Yeah.
I don't want to say this and sound the way it's going to sound, but I think sometimes some people from certain societies don't have the common sense God gave a chicken, and that's why.
Well, I'm sorry to say this, but in the Netherlands, it's going the same way as well.
Okay, so why do you think that is?
I think it's very obvious. It's the internet and it's the globalization. You know, people from all over the world are connected through the internet, and that's a positive thing. But these are the negative side effects because you have all these crazy political views, and that's what happens. So yes, it's going the wrong way, but that kind of uh, affirms the things that I just said. We uh, tend to get a little bit less relaxed because we're not in our own relative bubble in
Yeah,
the Netherlands.
yeah.
We get infected with a lot of stuff from
Well,
abroad, also from.
you're more relaxed in your own home than you are in someone else's.
Yeah, of course, that's true as well. Yeah,
Generally speaking, that your space is a space you create to allow you to plug in, recharge, unwind, do what you need to.
Yeah,
It's why you've done what you've done with your house, your garden, that space, and
yeah,
you're good about showing others the way to be able to do that as well. I just wonder, yeah, I wonder how far things are going to go before we get to a place where, man, it's funny, as much as we've tried to avoid talking politics, we seem to be dancing around it in this particular episode. I think the biggest, the biggest challenge, and this is something you pointed out to me, gosh, over a decade ago, was uh, things that weren't quite so commercialized in the Netherlands and now getting more commercialized. But there were
yeah,
things that I noticed that were always like the sense of responsibility. If you want a shopping cart, you put a coin in to take it. That's a thing that
yeah,
Aldi introduced here in the States. If you want
yeah,
extra condiment packs, if you go to a fast food place, you have to pay for them. And here
yeah,
in the States, they've got big tubs. People will grab handfuls and bring them home because they love Taco Bell's Diablo sauce, or they like the convenience of a fast food small pouch mayonnaise pack. But I found it interesting
yeah,
that if you wanted extra uh, ketchup, mayonnaise, hot sauce, whatever it was, you paid for it
yeah,
by the pack. So
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, yeah, that's a big difference. Yeah, you don't see that a lot here. But anyway,
would you say that the
yeah,
Dutch are still by and large a more active culture?
yeah. The
So
thing is
much for
that we,
talking about parties on this episode. We're going to do that
I
on
guess
another
so,
one because, man, we went all over the place.
yeah. Well, that's what you do when you talk to each other.
That's true.
It's that's what we do right now. It's an informal thing, so we can go anywhere when we
No,
like.
I like this format, and people out there can let us know what you think. Also, besides what Tone
Yeah,
says to click, hit, and subscribe and tell your friends, if there are things that you would like us to chat about or
yeah,
discourse on, or maybe compare and contrast, just leave us notes and let us
yeah.
know, because I promise you we're reading them,
Right,
and we're responding where
right,
appropriate, and
right.
and
And
we want
this
to make
this
you
more.
we want to make you a partner in this too.
Yeah, cool. That awesome. That's great. I every once in a while I come across a podcast of an American girl. She lives here in the Netherlands,
Yep.
and I follow her a lot. And she came across the topic of work ethics, and the amount of hours that Americans work and Dutch people work. That's a big difference
You know
because
what? We're gonna talk about that in the next episode. We're gonna
yeah, that
talk
would be
about that
awesome.
in the
Yeah,
next, because you're correct, and I will never forget. I was explaining to people, when Larry
yeah,
worked at the recreation facility, part-time, he told me about all the
yeah.
benefits he got, and at the end of his workday, he walked to
Right.
this really nice, cool refrigerator and opened it up, and it was stocked floor to ceiling with Heinekens. Show
Yes,
show me an American workspace where that exists, and I will show you an exception.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. I know. It's yeah, especially in bars and cafes and restaurants and stuff like that. We do a sluitdrankje. That's pretty common. It's like if you translate, it's like a closing drink,
Yes.
a closed
Well,
up drink when you're
we
done
we
at
did
work. Yeah,
we did that at Center Park, and
yeah,
I love
exactly.
it. And it's not,
It's
again, it's
yeah,
I think you pointed it out to me one of our trips to Amsterdam. You said you can always tell the tourist because they're ordering the groot beer and they're walking around smoking joints.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they do it much more than the Dutch people would do in general. In
Mhm.
general, it's pretty funny. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Yeah, but it's worthwhile to talk about working ethics and hours,
Yes,
putting in hours, and like,
where for
yeah,
those of you tuned in, that's going to be our next episode. We're going to talk about and dissect
love
work
that. Yeah,
ethics.
love that. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
because
By
I
the way, and it's definitely worthwhile checking out the vlog that I was talking about. It's
yeah.
Dutch Americano. It's she's really fun.
Oh,
And
perfect.
it's she does kind of the same thing that we do, but then by herself.
Right.
And it's also, yeah, I can recommend it to all our viewers. That's for sure. It's really cool.
I love that.
So, okay, let's see you in the next one.
The next one it is. Boy, that felt
Okay.
like that was a quick episode, wasn't it? But I think we've given ourselves a great place to wrap up with this one. We I think we said in
Yeah,
the first one there's no set time limit. They're not going to be long. That's the only thing that we've determined. Tony and I talked about this and said
absolutely.
we don't
Not
want
too
one of
long.
those really we don't want something so long you can go away, eat dinner, do your shopping, do your laundry, come back and we're still talking. No thanks.
Yeah, we don't want to bore people
No. Well, maybe
out of
we
their
are
minds.
already boring people. If we're boring you, go ahead and click like and subscribe.
Right. Until the next one. See you
Any
later.
closing thoughts? Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I have to get another glasses because I can't see anything.
Oh, that's
I have to sit
hysterical.
like that. Oh my God, still can't. Ah, there you are.
Yeah,
That
no,
looks
but
stupid. So,
any closing thoughts for the people listening and watching?
yeah, come to the Netherlands. It'll be great. Do a festival or visit some people and just hang out. Just start a conversation with anybody.
If
That's it.
if you had, you know what, we'll pick this up on the next one. At the top of the next one, Tone is going to tell you what his thoughts are on the top three things you should do, and then we'll contrast them with mine, and then we're going to jump right into uh, what it looks like in the American workplace versus the Dutch workplace. Um,
Yeah,
I think that's it on our end. Uh,
that's great.
Thank
Yeah,
you, everyone. Thank you for supporting us. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the notes and the messages. We
yeah,
appreciate it. We're glad you're out there. Tone, I'm glad you're out
yeah,
there. You know how I feel about that.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? Happy is everyday life. That's what happiness is.
Yeah.
Don't pursue it. It's there all the time. So have
Yep.
fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's almost like walking through a cow pasture. It's like manure. Just let it happen and you'll step in it.
Yeah. It won't smell that bad though. So that's good.
All right, folks. We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, mates.
Ja, tot ziens.
Later. Later.